Hi, curious minds. Welcome to Inside Life. Today, we delve into the fascinating minds of humans to enable us understand people much better through their various nonverbal cues. Here, we'll be unlocking the secrets of body language and why people act the way they do. Everything from facial expressions to change in the tone of one's voice to body positioning can help tell a story. This all comes down to your attention to details of nonverbal communications. Nonverbal communication is any form of communication, information, or message from one individual to another, which doesn't require the use of words. It could include anything from eye contact, body language, and facial expressions. Experts agree that 70% to 90% of all communications are carried out non-verbally. At the end of this video, you'll have the tools to effectively decipher various micro-expressions. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video if you find our content helpful. Tip number 1. Intuition. We all get that feeling once in a while, especially when we are meeting someone for the first time. It's annoying, or at the very least, a gentle persuasion that something is either off, awesome, or needs your attention. Your instincts are so subtle that they are usually ignored. Today, listen and trust your feelings, cause they never lie. Tip number 2. Questions. If you want to read anyone within seconds, another easy and effective way is to ask precise and intentional questions. Psychology says that if a person speaks negatively about another, chances are they are negative, and if a person speaks positively about another, the chances are that they are positive individuals. Ask people questions and listen attentively to how they respond to your questions. If they divert your questions, they probably have something to hide, and if they have nothing to hide, their answers would be free and enthusiastic. Tip number 3. Eye contact. When a person maintains eye contact with you while listening to what you are saying, this means they are genuinely interested in the conversation. If they are avoiding eye contact, that could denote suspicions and critical feelings. A fixed eye contact can also signal that a person is lying and is trying so hard to hide it. They end up maintaining a really awkward eye contact. If a person's pupils are widening, that can mean they are attracted to you emotionally. The eyes are considered to be the mirrors to a man's mind. Maybe if you pay attention to the eyes and just a few body cues, you might actually have the power to read a man's mind. Tip number 4. Pay attention to their breathing. When a person is angry, the brain releases hormones and neurotransmitters. This in turn increases your blood pressure and your heart rate, making your breathing shallow and fast. This too can happen when a person is feeling really nervous as well. But when a person is happy and completely relaxed, they breathe normally and slowly. So next time you are communicating with anyone and you notice a change in their breathing pattern, consider the reason. If it's as a result of fear or anxiety, or perhaps out of anger. If it's out of anger, consider giving them some space and time to cool off before revisiting the topic. Tip number 5. Voice pitch. The tone of a person's voice can alter within seconds depending on their mood. For instance, when a person is sad, their voice tends to deflate. They talk at a lower and slower rate. A faster or more cheerful tone denotes happiness. A soft tone is often interpreted as a lack of confidence, while a loud tone can be seen as rude or aggressive. So remember, with a person's voice pitch, you can tell how they are feeling at any given time. Tip number 6. Grip. When a person is holding a glass or their gadgets like phones or tablets and they hold it tighter, this can signal stress or uneasy. This could mean the person does not feel safe or at ease. It can also signify that a person is getting agitated or irritated and might possibly swing a close object at you. In a romantic setting, it could signal rush of emotions and attraction. Tip number 7. Collecting imaginary links. When a person is seen picking out imaginary links, this only proves that they disapprove of the opinion or actions of those around them, but simultaneously feel constrained in giving their honest opinions on the current subject. Tip number 8. Holding objects in front of your body. Holding up objects to your torso can indicate shyness and resistance. This shows the person is not at ease and trying to separate themselves from others. Tip number 9. Leaning in or away. Leaning back can show a sign of boredom or disinterest. On the other hand, leaning in or presenting one's face can suggest being interested or excited in a person. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to this subtle cue when out on your next date so you don't cross the line between an amazing first date and a really terrible one. Tip number 10. Shoes. From a person's shoes, you can tell exactly who they are. Scruffy shoes suggest a person is lazy and nonchalant. New shoes suggest a person is rich and put together. Clean shoes suggest organizational skills. Well-kept shoes can signify attachment anxiety. Colorful shoes can mean the owner is an extrovert. Tip number 11. Frequent nodding. At the beginning, this may mean the person is agreeing with your ideas, although excessive nodding can signify that a person is either too excited or has a need to please personality. Tip number 12. Rubbing hands. Rubbing of both hands is a body language or gesture of expectation. The rate at which one rubs the palm together can give out their thoughts. For instance, a fast pace means expecting something positive for oneself, although a slow pace can signify being in deep thought or expecting something bad to happen. It can also mean that a person feels nervous and is trying to calm themselves down. A slow rub of hands with a smile conveys that the intentions are devious. Tip number 13. Handshake. Handshakes can mean different things depending on the context. A firm and brief handshake that is accompanied by friendly body language can signify a person's interest. A strong handshake may suggest a person's dominance. A really soft handshake signals nervous, uncertain, and uninvolved. The two-handed handshake, usually seen among politicians. This type of handshake is said to convey the meaning of warmness, friendly, honest, and trustworthy. The top-handed handshake is where the person holding your hand puts it in a position that theirs is on top of yours. This in turn signifies dominance and superiority. Tip number 14. Crossed arms and legs. If you sit with your legs crossed, ankle over knee, that means you are confident and dominant. People usually cross their hands when they are upset as a ploy to calm themselves down. This behavior is quite common in children, and sometimes as adults we tend to carry along these traits as we grow up. Tip number 15. Touching chin or jaw. When a person rests their chin on their hands, this may mean they are disinterested or bored of the conversation, but obviously cannot tell you that to your face. While the person stroking their chin often signals that the person is thinking hard. Although, when a person jots their jaw, they are trying to redirect your attention. This is a gesture often accompanied by a slight upward movement of the jaw in a specific direction. Always bear in mind, our body language exhibits far more information and details about how we feel than it can possibly articulate verbally. Some gestures project a positive message, while others set a negative tone. All our physical gestures, no matter how subtle they may seem, are subconsciously interpreted by others. Most people are completely oblivious to their own body language and that of others, but we hope this video assists you in identifying these subtle cues, as they can help you act accordingly, as well as in understanding people better. Please let us know in the comment section which body language you often come across while engaging with different people. Until next time, bye-bye.